I said, I'm a second, but I didn't miss third.
Yeah. Just bypass thing.
Yeah, because I said, you know, it's like, it would roll forever.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep
Because I,
going.
you know, I just try to get first.
That's really got to keep playing over that bug. And the ball is balance. All right, ladies, what do we got? Bring up this one. That's great. Link up. Yeah. Like to college instead of college.
I like it.
Yeah. But then when they opened sports bar, that was fantastic. But it turned out, typical, adult software. It's like
We are
drinking, and everything else. I mean, sobriety was the best thing they could ever have. But it wasn't my fault. It was everybody else around. Right? I really wanted to go home.
Yeah, I would say for times. My boys are always coming.
Yeah. But are we ready to go?
It's, the meeting's still going.
Well, anybody that knows I had to drink a rubber, so that's okay.
You played with Roy, right?
Yeah. We used to have so much fun. I just ran into. It's been a long time. She was so sweet. Mary Ann. Oh my God, we were this. Yeah.
For a few years.
He was all over. She used to say that. It was a little rough. And then when the boys would come visit and stuff, one was a cop and one was.
The other one-
No, they're both cops.
No, yeah, one was cop, the other one's a school teacher.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Oh, okay. They mentioned a couple times. No.
Because the
Get on
daughter's
that.
name, daughter's name is written. I said, that was a.
Was it working?
So, yeah.
So.
I run into.
Yeah.
In there, that's going.
And Johnny Hell is trying to say.
We're good.
Joe, we're good to go. I'd like to call the regular scheduled meeting to order. The time's gonna be 4:45. I'd like to apologize for being 15 minutes late. They were doing some work inside the arena here and we didn't have any mics, so we're going some new technology. All commissioners are present, so if you could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Eastless, can you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all.
I did that. Public comments, since we do have people here that are not normally here, I'll read this. Personal commission meeting is business meeting of the commissioners held in public forum to comply with the Brown Act. This is an opportunity for citizens to make suggestions and identify concerns about matters on the agenda or other classified personnel matters. Boston here, or suggest topics for future agendas. Those in-person attendees wishing to address the commission are invited to fill out a request to speak card and present it to the secretary prior to the portion of the agenda. Individuals will be addressing the full commission, not individual commissioners. It shall be asked to stand whenever possible while presenting their comments. For the record, any individual addressing the commission shall first state their full name. The commission has a policy limiting speakers to no more than 3 minutes. I don't think we have it, but we do have some things. I would like to take this opportunity for you to introduce your guests to the people who haven't maybe already met the guests.
Yeah, so I wanted to introduce my wife Alma and my daughter Danielle. They're here joining me today. special guest here today.
There you go. Welcome to your husband and your daddy's meeting here. You'll keep this in order. We'll get a sweet so you guys can go enjoy some family time.
Thank you.
We're gonna go on to commissioner reports. Mr. Size? Anything? No? Mr. James? The only thing that I say is, you guys are going out to your conference here in a couple of days. Enjoy, learn lots of good things. Bring it back and make CSEA even that much better. So, have safe travels and everything else. CSEA, Ms. Gonzalez.
It's okay. I'll come up here so I'm,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I can necessarily be seen per se, but I'll just, it's kind of short and brief. Just, we closed negotiations for the 24-25 school year yesterday. So, the meat and potatoes, we got the same as the teachers, but there's a lot of other little things that, you know, we're able to negotiate for the benefit of our membership. So that was really nice to be able to close that up. Looking forward to reopening for next year's negotiations, which is actually our full contract. So it'll be the full 3 years. So looking forward to that and making sure that we get things kind of like which things are still working on that. So we have our new officer was sworn in at our last meeting, secretary. So she was sworn in, and
Who's your new secretary?
it is Marcy Hernandez. Who actually is just moving down from help assistant at STEM Central to an admin assistant. So she'll be moving over. So she's promoting within, so that's great news too. Coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. For March, we'll be looking to open up scholarship applications for the high school, as well as get our delegates ready to go to conference. So that's what we've got.
Thank you. Mr. Gutierrez. There he is.
Do I need to get for the camera? I'm like, I do? This way, I'm not gonna sing.
Yeah.
So, BUSD is just happy to report, that we did close negotiation with CSCA. I want to thank both teams, both sides for being open-minded about the proposals and counter proposals. And I will say that, we have a really good working relationship.
Yes.
And so I'm just pleased that we're able to move forward and close this year's contract and looking forward to next year.
Report. Great. Thank you. Mr. Ortiz, your turn.
Great, thank you, commissioners and guests, members of the public, for today. And I just want to remind you, sometimes I give a similar report to the school board meeting, so Mr. Ethan might have heard some of this already, but or some of our people on YouTube might have heard this already. So we currently have 3 interviews in progress, 0 recruitments that are in the testing stage, and 0 recruitments that are open. We have 373 classified employees, 172 8-hour full-time, 117 benefited part-time, and 84 non-benefited part-time. And we still have 15 classified management employees. On the different classifications that I always give you an update on, security, the interviews were held for that position. It was filled, and we have no vacancies on that. Safety, we currently have 2 vacancies that are posted for transfer to month. They were vacant at different times, so the expiration date of the transfer to month is different. One is on the 14th of this month. The other one is on the 21st of the month. After that, we can fill those positions we have to replace them. On custodial, we have no vacancies at this time. We have 1 long-term sub. I wanted to also report that on the paraeducators, it's very important that we completed our vacancy list review. We had our own internal list. We had to review data from board agendas, data from the sites. We used a shared list, Google Drive. And after much back and forth between principals and hiring managers, we got a good list and we got good data that we can move forward with. Just the paraeducators, we We have 43 para positions vacant, which is less than what we initially estimated, so that's good. 23 regular paras, which comprise 10 PKs and 10 of the other regular pairs, right? 17 para SN vacancies, 9 that belong to people services and 8 are at sites and 3 para ELL. We have completed the interviews for para SN. Some candidates that we called declined. Unfortunately. And so we were continually trying to recruit more from the regular pair list to see if they'll fill pair SNs. On the ELLs, we also completed some, or I think we scheduled some interviews for this Friday, right? Yes. Friday, so that's tomorrow. And then the regular pair, we have to match sometimes based on the candidate preference for site and hours. Sometimes they have children, so they prefer early shift or later shift. And when we do this, the matching for the pairs, we're going to start from the high hours to the low hours to try to avoid all the movement that may happen. But that way we do the work once and not 3 times. We're targeting March 28th as the big interview, the massive interview for Paris, all day. And that's when we could get all the principals to be available to interview. We offered other dates, but that was the first available, so we can get everybody together. Also, after all of the abolishments, we abolished some positions that were already on the board agendas that were executed. Our vacancy list was reduced to about 80. So we started about 100, we're at about 80 right now. Let's see what else we can tell you. We have Assistance interviews were held at Henderson Stanton Crestline, so those were already offered and filled. We're also working on a couple of other recruitments. Health assistant is one that I know the staff is working on, trying to move along because of the vacancies. We have communities worker 1, nutrition services 2, and school accounting commission that are closed, and we're going to move to testing. Our big work was the parent number, because in our vacancy list, that was the biggest number. So if we fill the pair positions, it'll cut us in half right now. That we're at 80, we should be around 40. We're also working with nutrition services and some additional positions that they want to create. The staff has also been working on the summer extended school postings. So for some of the summer work, the length of service certifications or certificates, reasonable assurance letters, and end of the year letters. So those are all things that they've been working on. So far in our statistics, we have processed about 90 onboardings since July 1 of 24. So that could be either new hires or movement within the district, but they all require almost the same paperwork. On our trainings for campus safety and security, we conducted a training here that I helped to put together with our consultant, Ross Torres. The trainings are held 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Wednesdays, not every Wednesday, but for this month, it was yesterday, March 12th, and then next week, March 19th, we'll have a training here. And then we have another date, April 2nd. And so campus safety and security getting all the training to be able to be more effective in their job, right? Just like we all need to be trained. What else do we have for here? We're also looking at a couple more dates in May for training for that particular group. We have added SAMs, the school admin managers, to the training, so they also committed to part of that training. And there's a couple of other trainings that we make cross training here as well, so we're trying to put that together. As everybody knows, and I just want to announce it here on our YouTube, I put this in our website also, that we're going to be attending our CSPCA conference. So our office is going to be closed Monday the 17th and Tuesday the 18th. Put it on our website, or we'll put it on our outgoing mail, voicemail, etc. So the public is aware of this. And just one final thing for our April meeting, based on some communication I had with one of our commissioners. I'm gonna be presenting a PowerPoint presentation at the April meeting that's gonna, similarly to what we did last month, it's gonna give us all the information about the director of purchasing statistics and the process, right? So that we're all clear on that. And that is all I have for my report.
Thank you, sir. I will entertain a motion for the adoption of the agenda as presented unless somebody wants something.
Motion.
Anybody want anything? All in favor? Opposed? Mr. Ortiz, you're up again. How about an update on the CSPCA conference travel arrangements?
Just want to let everybody know that we have, just everything should be taken care of unless there's any concerns with discussion on the staff. We have flights and rental cars. It's kind of difficult to get there. We have to fly to San Francisco and then take a rental car. I'm going to be driving myself. I think Mr. Sides is also going to drive. You're flying, right? So everything should be there. I'll be there if there's any concerns or questions in the hotel, right? Take care of it, but it should all be arranged already, prearranged ahead of time, so it should be smooth. We can go for the best. But yeah, and then since while we're in this topic, for our other training, the one-day training in Cerritos, I reserved a district van so that we can travel together if we want to carpool. And, at the end of March.
Travel carefully, guys. Anything from commissioners? Staff? Got any comments? Staff? Traveling? Fine.
I hope my release of mine.
Extra peanuts, ginger ales. I'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda, which reads as follows: ratify the eligibility list for paraeducator ELL, ratify the eligibility list for office assistant, ratify the eligibility list for the director of purchasing, and then we're going to approve the minutes of September 12, 2024, as well as approve the minutes of special meeting September 25th, 2024. I will entertain a motion for said stuff.
Motion.
Anybody got any questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Opposed? And we're going to move on to the first reading of the 25-26 Personnel Commission budget. Mr. Ortiz.
So for consideration here, this is just the first reading, and as it reads there, right? This is part of our requirements by Ed Code that this month we have at this meeting presented. We're gonna have a second reading in April, and then we're actually gonna have a hearing and adoption in May, right? So this is all part of the process. I've presented here our budget for next year with some of the adopted budget for the current year. The middle column, we left blank because there is a lot of movement in this middle column still. And as probably next month, we'll give you an update, and the third month, we'll have better numbers. So this was the recommendation from our previous director. And if you want to look at some of the items in this budget, most of the stuff that has to do with our benefits or salaries, you don't really do a whole lot with that. I mean, those are all projections that either the previous director or not, or I do. We have some analysis that we get from fiscal, but those are always fluctuate a little bit. On the items that are below that, those are all the things that we actually do in our day-to-day operations. So these are again, on the right column, are the recommended expenditures that I'm recommending to the commission that we can enact or use next year. I know one of the numbers that everybody can focus on is our travel, conference, and other, right? That typically there was a $7,500 budget suggesting a $13,500 budget. And the reason we're putting that here in our budget is because historically that is the actual cost. And so I looked at our previous conferences. That is the actual cost. And in fact, any other conference this district goes through as the revenue number, or sometimes even higher for the estimations. So this will keep us at least, this will allow us to have a true number to an actual cost as opposed to having to move items from another object to this object. Let's see, most everything else is about the same. Oh, something else I wanted to call your attention to is item 4330, which is refreshments. My rationale behind this is that we wanted to, I wanted to be able to have more site visits between us, maybe in a rotating basis, one of our commissioners, and CSEA can actually go to the sites and visit with people in the cafeterias, right, or workers out there, and have that kind of visibility and interaction. And this would allow us to, you know, for us to be able to pay for lunch for people who come out on those days. Now, and we're just putting numbers out here in a piece of paper, but that was the rationale behind that. And if I can go back to some of the travel and conference, I mean, this is all for the benefit really of having professional development for our staff and for the staff so that we can better serve classified employees and CSEA, right? We all need to sharpen our tools and get that kind of education on an ongoing basis, because if we don't do that, then you start to forget stuff or you're not current. And that's what this allows us to do. It's good education. That training that we're going to that day conference is a very well-respected law firm that represents our district, that puts on a lot of these professional trainings, and they're at the cutting edge. That's what we need so that we can better represent or be able to service employees and our CSE members and class time. If there's any other questions, that's all. That is our first reading, so let's just put it out there.
Information only, you guys in the show. The one thing, and I did discuss this with this story, is I would like to see more training for the staff, especially the ladies. You know, everybody else outside of the office and everything else, they go and do these things, and we need to do more for all of us, you ladies, Mr. Ortiz and stuff. And again, to get, you know, you up to date and on speed is only a benefit to CSEA and to yourselves in your position. So I'd like the idea of getting more training in, especially you guys. Maybe to us, but no, you guys need it because you deal with it on a daily basis. We're going to approve the attendance and updated costs of attending CSPCA conference in Napa on March 15th. I will entertain a motion for discussion purposes. All right, Mr. Ortiz.
So this particular item, I brought it up because this updates all our numbers. We're closer to the conference, so we have a better idea for what the actual cost is. And also because we needed to do a switch between Mr. Rosenberg and Commissioner Sides, so that needed to be on the official document. You know, some of the other cost dates, who's driving, all that had to be updated. So this should be true. So that way we can update it and present it and give it to our friends and business.
So this one has to be updated because you're still.
Oh, so
you're still on this.
you do need to change that Mr. Size.
Yes.
So, okay, motion to make the change, please.
That we, so it's subject to the amendment and placing the with Mr. Size.
Perfect. Okay, any questions of Mr. Ortiz? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Not just bring that up and submit it to finance people.
Yes.
Approve the attendance and updated cost for attending the AALRR Day Conference in Cerritos. I'll entertain a motion for discussion purposes. Yeah, motion and second, so it's gonna be. Full rotate. Mr. Ortiz.
And again, this is the day conference we were talking about in Cerritos. These are the true costs. If we were to take advantage of the district van, then some of these line items on mileage would be an issue, we won't use it. But I leave that there in case somebody's unable to join us.
And let's all get the van.
So,
Plan.
Get our smarts on. Anything from the commissioners? So that's the, all in favor? Opposed? Approve the attendance and cost of attending the Merit System Academy with CSPCA March 29th through July 18th. This is a virtual Thursday and Saturday. It is for Commissioner Size and Mr. Ortiz. I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Ortiz.
so this is with the flyer here. No, these are all the dates of the training. I discussed this. Mr. Size is interested in going. We
Yeah. Second,
G already went. Rosenberg's not interested. Again, this is a way to get professional development training for this particular work that you do. The California School Personnel Commissioner Association, I think, they're the authority of this kind of work, so this is where we have to get this training. I believe our superintendent is also going to be attending, so she brought this to me as well. So we want to make sure that people on your side of the house also attend, so this is for Mr. Size and myself to attend this virtual conference. And this is only covers the registration.
anything, Commissioner? All in favor? Opposed? Request for executive step placement, CCSEA, range 42, step 5 for Mr. Gonzalez, the new electrician. I will entertain a motion. Mr. Ortiz.
In your binders, you will find the rule for the advanced placement. I also have the salary schedule there. And obviously you have the letter here from Mr. Gonzalez, the new electrician, plus he has his application and all his other certificates that he has for his trade. The electrician trade is, that's not mentioned to many individuals here, is that our job description requires 5 years of an apprenticeship or apprentice level, 5 years experience. 5 years of experience in the apprentice level is like a supervisor, right? And so they get paid much more than what we're. So he's had an excellent argument. I'm recommending that we accept his request to move to step 5, on range 22. It is a hard recruitment to get. It's also very competitive out there in the real world outside of the school district.
Anything from the commissioners?
I'm just curious in the private sector, what
I was just gonna say that. I think the private sector, they're getting a little bit more money. You don't necessarily get the same benefit package that you do working in a governmental agency. But this one is the first one that's been presented in here that makes the most sense. Well, the technology jump that came on, that's another one where you can see when they come in is where our pay grades are, starting from 1 to a 5. We jump on this one and we hope that the individual stays until retirement age.
He'll stay there at 5 for 9 years till he gets the 9th step.
Until he gets the.
Step 6.
Step 6, yes.
For 9 years of service.
The longevity.
Okay.
And so we're hoping to get it. This one, it looks good and everything else, but something we need. And, trying to fill it as you stated, getting a qualified candidate.
I thought district, it's the longer you stay, the more
Yeah,
they start out low.
yeah. Oh, most government. This one warrants it. All in favor? Oh, anything else from the commission? All in favor? Opposed? Request for advanced step placement of Michael Evans, CCSEA range 27, step 4 custodian. I will entertain a motion. Mr. Ortiz.
Yes. So this request came in, when you came, Mr. Evans has experience in another district as a custodian, lives here, is commuting to Manhattan Beach. And he has about 8 years of experience, as you can see in his resume and some of the other information he provided. My recommendation is that we accept his request, however, it's always set but the commission, so it was a pleasure of the commission.
Anything from the commissioners?
So this one, we recommend, if we go approve step 4 in July, it's still gonna go to step 5 anyways, correct?
Yes.
Mm,
Oh, wait,
No,
when did you
because-
start?
No, because he started late, so I don't think so.
If you started after March 1st, no.
Oh.
You won't go until next year, but.
Okay, so it'll stay on step 4 for 15 months or something.
What I was gonna suggest is split the difference on this one. You know, instead of starting in step 1 or moving up to step 5 in a short period of time, put them into step 3, that gets them into the thing. It shows, you know, thank you very much, you've been here, but now you'll progress. It's kind of, in essence, splitting the difference, shall we say. And that's what I'm kind of thinking in my head of putting this one, you know, he does the job. Yes, he has the experience and everything else. But I'd say split the difference. Instead of moving it to a 4, which then subsequently goes to a 5, get him some time in service to get him up to the 5. So I say we change the recommendation and we put it at a 3 instead of a 4, but do give him an instance. Based upon his experience.
For their range, 26.
7.
27, yeah.
Okay,
They're asking
okay.
4, 3.
It's $1. It's $1.04.
It'll be on step 3 for a year plus 3 months, and then
And then move to 4, and then move to 5.
Started February, then he was gonna start in July.
Yeah.
I think it's starting in July.
also he will step 3 months. So 4.
Right, if you
Four.
start them on 3 and then
If
go
started 3 months will be in 4.
Well, Billy or the way? No, they go.
Started before March 1st, which I believe he started in February.
Yeah, I didn't know if he had a state or it was actually here 4 years.
Yes. Depends on when he comes in during the year.
I changed my thought process then, because of that one, I figured he had started after the fact, and we were gonna get that extra time. I say he started as a 2, move him to a 3 in July, then does his time for a year, then it's 4.
That appropriate for someone with this kind of experience, the rest of us.
It's, actually, we have a lot of people on that, you know, so there's a lot of custodians. When we identify hard recruitings, right, we're trying to scrounge for 5 people, maybe only 2 show up on interview, that's tough. And that's when we can make other considerations, especially with the electrician, right? We have a total of 7 of 12 apply, 7. Each
Dwindled, when he started.
yeah, it gets that small, for the parasans, the same thing, right? I mean, if we have 20 people, by the time we start calling people to actually accept, you know, how many interviews? How many, single digits, right?
They might have got jobs someplace else.
This version was not as difficult. No, all right.
Well, this is potentially for the district. I mean, we're here, Ron here, you know, represent CSEA in the district and stuff like that. And we need to kind of look at, hey, we hired you, you knew what you were getting into. You're coming to a great environment, wonderful workplace. We're going to give you a step up. You're going to increase in 3 months, and then you can move along the lines that way also. So I think it's fair to the employee, yeah, but also fair to the district.
That's fair.
I guess we could put in the minutes that CSEA settled their contract to some maintenance that will be like in this salary section.
So look at that.
So that'll
Let's amend the motion if we could, please.
Okay, And the motion to approve because it's I believe for step 3 events. Step 2, sorry.
Step 2, because then we'll go to 3.
Three.
And then, any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Aye. Entertain a motion to change the date of the July 12th meeting. What do you look, let's start with discussion first on this one. What date are you looking to change the meeting to?
This came at the request.
Okay.
Of the commission,
Okay, no problem.
so
I'm out of town from the 11th to the 22nd.
All right, so pull out a calendar and what day would you like to do? What day do you
I
recommend?
think I talked to
Yeah.
Director Ortiz, he said the Tuesday, is it the 4th of the
let me look at the calendar.
July 4th?
Yeah, I'm not doing it July.
June 3rd, Tuesday, June the 3rd. Everyone's okay with that?
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the change of the June 12th meeting to June 3rd. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
All right, the only thing that I would ask, please send out a little thing, McBarber, so I can change my calendar. All in favor? Opposed? With that, anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Ortiz?
Sir?
I'd like to take a moment just to thank Mr. Eastlist, board member, coming to listen to our meeting and everything else like that. It's always nice to see people out in the audience, you know, with CSEA and with the district and everything else. We're done, 5:18.
Excellent. Okay.